Hey guys, it's Creature Senior back from C&H Small for another informative review video. This one will be dealing with firearms today because what I have in front of me right here is my favorite combo for Vepr-12 shotguns. I really like Vepr-12 shotguns myself, and I own a few of them, and I'm going to be doing a specific tutorial how to install your external choke right here and the actual muzzle brake. So what I have right here is what you want to call a muzzle brake combo. So basically what I can do is take this off my gun and put another attachment onto the gun, like say a flash suppressor or something like that, or flash hider, whatever you want to call it, and I can just have this screwed right back on the gun with no problem right here for that. So in order to first put these things on her initially, you want to take off the thread protector on the end of the Vepr-12, unscrew that, and you want to clean the threads, make sure there's no debris, oil, carbon buildup, anything else like that. And what you want to do is thread the external choke first onto the end of the barrel, and you want to torque it up extremely tight. You might need two people to do it sometime, because it's always better to have two people help you. One person to hold the barrel nice and tight, another person to torque the actual external choke extremely tight on your forehead. Your molot external choke I have right here, it actually has a marking on here. It's a 0.5. I got two of these, a 0.5 and a 1.0 full choke and a modified choke. Well, this thing has two flat pieces right here. You can put a wrench right here, or adjustable wrench, and you can clamp nice and tight, and you can torque the piss out of it basically by doing that, and so it'll be nice and tight on the end of the barrel, so it won't be wobbling or falling off in any kind of way right there for that. I don't recommend putting any kind of PTF pipe tape or anything else, or Loctite, because you want the thing to be on there perfectly fine tight without any kind of additional crap on the end there for that. Because if you put red Loctite or some kind of other Loctite, there's a possibility it might be extremely tight to get off, and it might not come off after you put it on there. So that's why I recommend you not putting any kind of additional locking stuff to keep it nice and tight on and secured. Once you get the muzzle brake, or say once you get the external choke put on fine, the next thing you want to do is to install your locking nut for your muzzle brake. This thing comes with a locking nut. It's right here attached to the back of the muzzle brake assembly right here. Your muzzle brake's right here, then you have your locking nut, and they're all attached to the front portion of your external choke right here for that. So what you want to do, you want to put on the locking nut first right here. You want to wind it all the way out to the back of the external threads right here, and until it bottoms out, until it gets to the end of the threads. And once you do that, you want to put the actual GK03 muzzle brake on the end of the barrel right here. You want to spin it until you find out where it's going to actually index on the actual threads. What I mean by indexing is whenever you put the actual muzzle brake onto the threads for the external choke, it might index it like a 2 o'clock position, a 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock position, or maybe even like a 4 o'clock or 4:30 or 5 o'clock position. What you want to do is you want to have it perfectly lined up with the receiver on it, so whenever you're shooting your gun, your Vepr-12, it's going to be going straight down. You don't want to have it on a clock eye, like say 2 o'clock or 11 o'clock position right here, because it'll be going squirrely on you right there for that. So once you find out where it's indexing, if it's indexing close, like say 1 o'clock, what you want to do is you want to back out the threads slightly till it gets to the 12 o'clock position, and you want to back out your locking nut till it mates up against the back of the actual right in the back where your threads are in the back, where they actually I should say where you actually pressed in with the back of the muzzle brake. Because you have a steel insert in your muzzle brake right here, you want to have the locking nut up against up against that, so it's nice and tight. So what you want to do to torque it up, once you get it in the proper 12 o'clock position, you want to grab your one hand like this right here, and you want to grab it on the end of the muzzle brake, and in your left hand, I'm left-handed, so I'm going to be doing left hand. You want to get your adjustable wrench right here. I got an adjustable wrench right here, and you want to push it, I should say open it up onto the threads right here. And once you get it attached right here, you want to slide down on there, and you want to torque the locking nut up against the steel insert into the inside portion of the muzzle brake right here. You want to torque it up really tight You don't gotta worry about the external choke right here moving or anything else, because you already torqued it before, so do not worry about that. You're simply concerned about having the muzzle brake right now torqued up against the locking nut on the end of the external choke. So be aware of that fact. Just grab it in one hand and torque it down the other hand right here for that. You don't have to have two people for doing that, because I did it myself multiple times, and as long as you do that, it's perfectly fine. So after you get done, just double check, make sure everything's tight on there again before you take up the range. Once you go up the range, I recommend shooting about 4 or 5 rounds to the gun. Shoot like buckshot or slugs to the gun about 5 times, and check to make sure the thing is not getting loose on here. If it is getting loose, I recommend getting a bigger, what we'll call wrench here. I don't have one in my box right here, but I do have. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Here's a better size I recommend. Here's a small one. This is about a 9.5 inch size right here. This would be more ideal to torque up the actual locking nut against the actual muzzle brake right here for that. So take one of these with you to the range so you can torque up against the actual, let me open this thing up here. You can torque up against this piece right here, and you can torque up against the locking nut for the back of the muzzle brake attachment right here for that as well too. So if anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot about doing that, just drop me a line here and I'll try to get back to you probably within 24 to 48 hours after you leave me some kind of a message. So I'll see you guys and have a nice day.